Three.
Hello, everyone. Jada Fun with an exciting video today. We have a special video today. We
We're in person for the first time in a while.
yes, we are, and also we have that. We I've been meaning to do this video for quite a while now. I've been talking about this for the past what I don't know how many years. I think the last few years. And we want to
Hmm.
do a video. I just finally saw the movie.
It's
Like
always come up in discussions.
yes,
Yeah.
I just saw the movie. It Man Out like not too long ago.
Hmm.
Very interesting movie,
Hmm.
and like basically I can see Man Out how basically it's about the 1919 White Sox, how they
Hmm.
with that scandal and everything else with the owners. We're going to be talking about breaking down
Hmm.
for each player how they we're saying not involved and
Hmm.
involved. If
How it compares to other
yes,
major baseball scandals, and yeah, we'll
yeah.
get going.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
I would have start with first with the owner Charles Kaminsky. Okay,
Hmm.
owner of the White Sox, considered the most hated
Hmm.
person in baseball at the time.
Hmm.
That could be like a misleading or like up to interpretation per se. He's basically he unpaid his sub players,
Hmm.
paid micromanagement,
He was
and
very suspicious too. He was
yes,
he was very involved, but a lot of people didn't really like him, and he was a really powerful owner back then, when before owners really had a lot of the total power that they
mm.
kind of do now.
And then during the 1919 season, especially when players get like gets getting very close to
Hmm.
their their bonus, their incentives,
Hmm.
they get benched so he doesn't pay them for it.
Hmm.
And that's basically what happened in this instance with
Hmm.
Eddie
Sisette,
Sassett. He refused
Sissetti.
Sassetti, yep. Refused to pay out bonuses,
Hmm.
which basically led to the scandal
Hmm.
and met with gamblers basically
Hmm.
how this all started.
Yeah.
Bas- yeah, basically Kaminsky. Who are,
Enter or
no,
what's
yeah.
your key? Oh yeah. Yep.
Who are they? Basically, we just
Hmm.
mentioned the last slide, the 1919 Chicago White Sox,
Hmm.
also known as the
Black Sox.
which which is very weird to name
Hmm.
that. Like it makes sense at the time because the
Hmm.
scandal makes sense.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
market
Hmm.
knowing they basically throw the 1919 World Series.
Yep.
A players were
They
involved.
lost. What was it? Four or
No,
no?
it was
No.
best out of nine
Yeah.
at the time
Five
before
to.
they merged to best out of
Was
seven,
it 5-4 or 5-3?
5-3.
5-3. Yep. When they played more games.
And basically, yeah, it was
Hmm.
through the World Series, which
Which eight
it's
is significant for a baseball team. I mean, they
yes.
don't carry a lot of roster spots.
So we'll go start with the first player, Eddie,
Hmm.
the pitcher. Basically, part of the game one, he took a bribe,
Hmm.
$10,000 in cash.
Which
Now
was a ton back then.
a ton,
Oh yeah.
which his it makes sense because he is claiming, I have wife and kids, I have a farm back in Michigan, which makes
Hmm.
sense at the
Hmm.
time. Like, no,
That's
desperate measures comes to desperate times comes desperate measures, and as you can see, money does talk.
And that's about a year's salary for those players back then too, especially back in 1919
Yeah,
when there wasn't the big money from media deals and brands and all that. Like,
enforcement deals,
I mean, and inflation obviously, but 10,000, I mean, that's probably your whole salary, maybe even a little bit more.
and
So,
some guys don't get $10,000.
absolutely, yeah, if you're not good. Yeah, yep.
Even a
Hmm.
sub player back then can just get like
Hmm.
2750, which is
That's right. Yep, yep.
not even for most people
Hmm.
in today's
Hmm.
world is not even a month salary for it, which
Yep,
is
absolutely.
not good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Basically, he felt he was mistreated by the owner,
Hmm.
which that's also be up to variation, but in
Hmm.
sense
Subjective.
subjectively. But I think he did have a case. I think the owner
Hmm.
did, in fact, have mistreated his star players, especially.
Yeah.
And it showed because he benched him for 2 weeks, which is like five starts back then. Like
Hmm. Oh yeah, they started all the time.
basically, yeah.
They didn't rest.
And this was also like I think we could probably talk about it later in the video, but it took sounds like he playing like he found the bribe in underneath his pillow
Mhm.
and his hotel room before game one started
Yep.
or after
Yep.
the games it
Mhm.
was done.
Mhm.
But now, Lefty Williams, this is up. I think this is one of the places up for the debate
Mhm.
because there's so much things that's out there about Lefty
Yep.
that in the movie, I admit I'm not sure it was Lefty Williams. I think he met with one of the gamblers also like
Mm.
Hitman,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
the actually is that his wife and
Mhm.
said,
Mhm.
yeah, like you don't throw the game
Yep. Yep.
and the thing
Mhm.
that even that's even scary back then, especially today's world, because
Mhm.
what people face on a day-to-day basis with other.
Yeah.
I don't want to go too much of details,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yep.
it's basically like in today's world, like basically like with the mob, you can see the
Mhm.
mafia, the
Yeah.
mob,
Yep. Yep.
whatever,
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
other people that will try to make direction and make you pay like a
Absolutely.
ransom.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
And basically his motive was, like he was part of a group of players who felt underpaid by
Mhm.
the White Sox owners,
Mhm.
Comiskey, and were inside of the
Mhm.
gamblers, including Arno Ruthenstein, to fix the series for money.
Mhm.
And then it showed his performance pitch poorly in games 2, 5, and 8. But it shows that in the movie he didn't want to. So he
Mhm.
he he has
Mhm.
some second thoughts about it,
Mhm. Oh
which
yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
guilt
Yep.
set in.
Yeah. I mean, this is the huge Joe
Yeah,
Jackson,
yes.
most famous.
Go show Jackson.
Yeah.
You have anything to add before about Lefty? You were about to say right there.
Yeah, I think with like pitchers, or with just baseball in general, it's a lot easier to be able to kind of fake it that you're playing badly. Maybe you just swing at bad pitches or you leave a curveball a little bit
Mm-hmm.
hanging over the plate where it's a little bit easier, I feel like,
Oh
to
yeah,
kind of like make
purposely,
it seem that way
purposely have back control.
than some other sports. But yeah, Joe Jackson, by far the most famous.
Well
Um,
known other eight players.
yes, and then he is most highly speculated if he was actually involved. There's all sorts of things for and against him, but he was by far the best player on the team and the most well known, and kind of someone that, you know, if he was involved, really to kind of
Mm-hmm.
jumpstart that for a lot of other people. He did confess in court that he was involved in the conspiracy, but
He
that he
did not
never.
never throw the Royces on the field.
Yes, but then he withdrew
Withdrew.
his
Yep.
confession, so that's a little sketchy. And then he allegedly denied a $5,000 bribe twice. And then other players have said that, they mentioned Joe Jackson to give more credibility to what's going on, to
Should
get
have
more
bought
either investors or gamblers, a lot of people, just get a
evidence.
lot more people involved from that. And then he publicly claimed that he was innocent all through until his death in 1951. And then the don't say it or don't
Don't say
say
it's
it
so,
so, Joe.
Joe. The
Yes.
famous quote, like
Hmm.
it's I think came from a kid,
Yes. Yep. Yep.
and also
Hmm.
prior to this, also it's so in the closing end of the movie that
Hmm.
like people think like in the outfield that is that Joe Jackson or
Yep. Yep.
which I
Hmm.
think it was
Yep. Hmm.
because he went by different names
Hmm.
so he
Hmm.
could continue to play baseball. But
Yeah.
he was one of the eight players to be banned.
Yes.
Obviously, Amen now one of the players, Sally, to
Hmm.
be banned from baseball. But
Yep.
I do believe he should be in the Hall of Fame regardless.
I could see it. I mean, for his time, he was really good.
But
And
we can discuss that
later,
at the end.
yes,
This is another name I'm going to mention as well.
yes, yep.
Bucky Weaver, I think
Hmm.
he played third base.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Did not throw the Roosters by any means. Obviously, basically like
Hmm.
Chula Show. No errors. Battled with 300, 324 to be exact.
Yep. Yep.
He was acquitted in court by many accounts, being innocent of cheating,
Hmm.
but the commissioner at the time, which
Great name, by the way.
Hinshaw Martinellis,
Kennesaw Mountain Landis.
Mountain Landis.
Great name.
Yes.
Great name.
Ban him for life.
Yep.
Because this is what Landis said. Even though you did not was part of the during the World Series, if you knew about it, you're just as guilty.
He was a witness witness to it.
So basically, Commissioner Landis said, basically, if you knew about it, but you didn't partake in it, you're still as guilty. And it's kind of similar what you face in today's sports.
Yes, which we'll touch on in a couple slides. Which
banned for life, knowing the fix, even though he didn't partake the fix. Which
kind of a caught in the crossfire.
Yep.
In a sense.
Chick Gendel, like I never heard of this name. Basically, he's considered as one of the ringleaders, but there's also we've been reports that other players was technically the main guy in charge, but who knows? Same thing on the head with the owner.
I think a lot of people, later were claiming that I wasn't involved, I wasn't the mastermind to maybe get rid of a lot of the responsibility or trouble with it. But and that's why it's so tough, since there's not really a lot of written evidence. It's kind of just a lot of word of mouth stuff of who's guilty.
Yeah, he was basically recruited the other 7 players to be part of the fix, but later claimed that he wasn't sort of mastermind behind it, which is kind of tied into the ringleader of the fix, but speculations like, was he though? Was he? Is he? Well, sadly, we probably will never know. Another guy I'd never heard of.
Risberg.
Same thing. Another person that they think he was the ringleader.
He received 4 times his salary. I mean, and especially in 1919, you just at that time, I mean, you just got done with the First World War is just going on, just getting done. And I mean, to get that much, I mean, that's a big deal. That's a really big deal.
And the big pandemic in 1919.
That's right.
The
Spanish flu.
The Spanish flu.
Yep. We know our history. JDub 5914.
Yep. And also, we're going to talk about later this one person that might actually would have stopped all this, but that name will be revealed later. Do you remember the name?
Maybe. Jose Altuve. No.
Yeah. He's a clone.
We'll talk about him later.
Was heavily involved in organizing the fix, helping to convince teammates to partake in throwing the World Series to the Reds. Obviously, he came into 8 errors, which is clearly suspicious.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, that's significant even for that time.
Basically, not much about him.
He partook.
Known as basically the last man out, basically.
Yes. Yep.
They've narrowed down to him.
Yep.
And then basically for Happy, another outfielder, I think Charlie Sheen played him.
Oh, yep.
In the movie.
Yep. That makes
took
sense.
Took a $5
double his salary.
Which is he got paid. Yeah.
Yep.
Felt guilty for the World Series and poor performance. So he felt guilty. So he was one of the players that felt guilty as well. So here's the World Series results. Game 1, 9-1, obviously suspicious.
Yep.
4-2. Okay, since the Reds has a 2-series lead.
They did a really good job of making it where the Reds had the lead all of the games, but they kind of maybe tried in a couple to say, see, we beat the Reds in this game when it's 2-1, and then when it's 4-1 when they have a big lead. And in the series,
so basically they won game 3, game 6 and 7 to try to make it close, and they lost game 8.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way to do it.
And then Lefty Williams pitched 2, 5, and 8, which he had like 4 runs in the first inning, which that's basically was the end result.
Yep.
The scandal has been exposed.
Yes.
Basically, Comiskey had private investigators, and no evidence was found. But there's been rumors that he knew about the fix for a while, but it kept it private. Now that's suspicious. If same thing, like the commissioner said, if you knew about it or have thought about it, had some idea what's going on, but you kept it private. Comiskey, I think he should also have been banned for life.
Yep. That's fair. That's
fair.
Yeah. I mean, and they named their stadium's still named after him, which is really interesting. So
one of the stadiums, but not like the newer one though.
Oh yes, that's right. It's like some corporate.
It was like US Cellular Field, and then
Oh,
rate,
guaranteed rate. Yep, yep, yeah.
but Saxon Stadium at the
Hmm.
same stadium though.
The
So the
fix
is
is
in.
in. Allegedly masterminded by notorious New York gambler Arnold Rothstein, New York White Sox player Chuck Gandil set the plan into motion, losing 5-3 to the Reds, and then yep, kind of like we talked about, uh, really going out of their way to hit people, poor performance. And then they each received about 7 to 10,000 for their involvement. Some a little bit more, some a little bit less, but that was kind
Mhm.
of the average. And that translates to about $100,000 today and about a year's salary, or double, triple, quadruple. 2 to 10K is pretty normal. And they got lucky. They got really lucky. Their pitcher, who was not involved in the scandal, could not pitch due to illness, which gave way for the people, like we had mentioned,
Yeah,
to like Lefty Williams to really
and
get
then
more starts to be
yeah,
able to
Faber
throw.
was one of the pitcher could easily stop this whole thing from happening,
Hmm.
but luckily he didn't bite the dust,
Yes, yes.
but he got felt ill because of the 1919 Spanish
Hmm.
flu,
Yep,
which is
yep.
called the pandemic, which is a big deal at the time.
Oh yeah,
But
yep. They got lucky, and it worked great and well for them. I mean, with the plan, but yeah,
and I think they would have stopped. I think they would have stopped this whole thing from happening.
if he was able to pitch, it probably wouldn't have happened.
Happen.
Oh yeah, yep,
But I think they would have tried to convince him to throw in as well.
yep.
But
Hmm.
I don't think that he would have.
Hmm.
The trial.
Key evidence went missing and confessions were recanted. The jury found, yes, the jury found the players not guilty after only 3 hours of deliberation. Pretty suspicious. Confessions of Eddie, Shoeless Joe Jackson, Lefty Williams, and Felch. And then there was just a lot of suspicion going on here. There wasn't really any hard evidence. It was a lot of just you said, he said, they said.
And the thing is, the whole confessions was later found in discussion of guess who, the picture of the Canadian source. Now that's
right.
suspicious. That's so suspicious because you're the owner of your team. And now this shows that you knew about it then. You knew that the fix is happening. You denied the fact. You want to keep it private. Once again, obviously, amen out. Comiskey technically should be banned for life.
Yep.
Which I don't think you can. I'm not sure you can actually ban an owner.
You probably can. There's been football owners that have been banned.
But at that time, though, that would make.
But not back then.
No, they were thinking like, and then Comiskey would probably come after them like, "You're just doing this because I was the owner of this team, man."
All 8 players were banned for life. However, just a couple years ago, I think what was this
Manfred.
Do you agree that they should have been unbanned?
Okay, I don't give you my answer in this section. So they never put professional baseball ever again.
Okay.
Well, except for Julius George Jackson, like some independent league, but that's technically not professional baseball.
Yeah, that's kind of like iffy. Yeah.
Pick up games.
Yeah.
But now, how does this go? We gotta cover this first.
How compared to other Major League Baseball scandals?
Lifetime bans. We have the trash.
So, the biggest, the biggest baseball scandal in our lifetime, the 2017 Astros, the trash cans. Now, this was different. Where the team got punished, the head coach, the general manager, the owner, but none of the players. The players were like a mute. None of the players got anything. It was all like the front office and the coaches. That was a lot different. And that's another thing where it's kind of.
Who was the manager at the time? I forgot his name.
AJ Hinch.
AJ Hinch, which is now he's still what?
Detroit.
Detroit now. Yep.
Well, as of the recording of this video.
Yes.
But it's a lot different because A, it went on for longer, and B, it's harder to say how much it helped. I definitely think it helped.
It did. I think it did help.
It definitely helped, but to kind of how much, in a sense, and who it helped more than others, because I mean, there's easily like 10 players involved who were doing that.
Evan Gattis, Jose Tuve, because I think it was the exact same year because Jose Tuve hit the walk-off home run, gets shot.
Oh, and he was like,
and it was like this.
Yeah, no, and that's where
That
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just came like, and the thing is like, Correa saying like came out like great player though, great player, but he came out like saying like he just some of like a bad tattoo,
Yep.
which that's
Yeah.
like off of off of the debate,
They kind of
but
they didn't get any suspension from the league, but
sure they though,
they what's that?
sure they though.
Probably, but they kind of got their like comeuppance in a sense by
Yeah,
the league. Like people were throwing at them a lot.
yeah.
But is it worse? I don't know.
And then we had the
I
steroid
yep.
era,
Steroids is uh, that's another thing where it's so hard to know how much it helped. It
which
definitely helped.
we got to probably do a breakdown video for that.
Yep. So steroids is like 95 to like 2010 even.
His we will have to do a video on this, but my thoughts on steroids are basically okay.
Like is
You look at steroids,
like
okay?
are you automatically
And
like
I
you're done?
and
For example, Nelson Cruz, he took PEDs like
yes,
one time. Is he like just done? Like no Hall of Fame, he's out, or does it depend?
3 strikes you're out.
Three interest.
Because that's all it
Okay.
is. 3 strikes you're out.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
the first game is 81.
Yep.
The second was it's a whole year ban.
Yeah.
And third strike, you're out. It's a lifetime ban.
Do you think he's still a Hall of Famer?
That's up to debate.
Okay. Okay. We'll tackle this later.
Okay. Because I just did I think one of my final papers before my capstone. I did paper on this before my hands in drugs, and
Yep.
I tie with the drug policy. Drug
Yeah,
policy
yeah,
is a lot different from the steroid era.
Mm-hmm.
This from the steroids because you got to look for
Oh,
example,
yeah.
like
They didn't test for as much.
if you take like certain kinds of medicine, okay,
Yep.
before spring training starts, you got to write down your medicine because
Yep.
if they test you
Yep.
and they say, oh, we found in this blood if this drug on his drug policy that is by
Yep.
by a
Yep.
doctor, if it is okay, he's not
Yes.
going to receive
Yep.
any
Yep.
banned games, but that's a different
Mhm.
policy though.
Yeah.
We had the underground gambling from A-Rod speculations.
Yep.
I think
Rose.
the Yankees knew about it.
Yep.
They warned him about it not to do this because he was meeting with bad people. It was scary
Mhm.
times. Now Pete Rose, okay.
I think Pete Rose should be a Hall of Famer.
Okay, with the gambling issues as well. He's bet on his team to win.
Mm-hmm.
He minted it.
He bet on them to win though. If he bet on them to lose, that's a little different. But it's like if you're betting on them to win,
but
that's kind of where you get
right.
I don't know.
Like he's so betted though. But now, if this is my speculation, if
Yes.
you put Heroes in the Hall of Fame, I think it would be right. You have to put Shooter Joe Jackson in the Hall of Fame.
That's fair.
And the thing, it's same rules apply. You put Shooter Joe Jackson in the Hall of Fame, you gotta put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame.
So my question
it goes
is,
both ways.
There's a lot of scandals about like cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is all cheating, but like gambling, trash can banging,
yes,
and steroids. Like if we're saying like you can gamble but you still can make it in, like which one is worse? In that point,
right now,
is like steroids worse than gambling
with the trash cans issue, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now you gotta look. How long did that last for?
Half a season, maybe.
Was it like 2017, 2018, or just the whole tour out of 17?
Yeah.
It was like about 2 years, okay? Then you look all the stats, because Bounce is in the Hall of Fame now. Because he was part of it as well.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Now you gotta look at this, okay. For example, Jose Tuve. Okay, you look at his stats, mostly he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But I think you can just now look at his 2017 stats.
Just get rid of that.
Just same thing with 2020.
Okay.
Same thing with 2020 because it was like a basically not many games.
Fair. Yeah.
I think
can you do that with steroids though? Can you just get rid of that season?
It depends if they do the whole career.
Okay.
If they do the whole steroids the whole career, they admit it. You should not be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay. Yep.
Should not be in the Hall of Fame.
But like if you do it for like a year or two, you're okay. Like Bartolo Colon or Nelson Cruz.
If I understand some like people come for the Republic or the other countries,
Yeah.
They make honestly mistakes does happen.
Okay.
With thing Polanco.
So if
Made
it's a
it.
mistake, you're good, but if it's intentional, you're out.
Yes.
Okay,
It
I mean
was,
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
if you knew about it, you're doing it, and you keep denying the fact you're doing it,
Yep.
then you just make things worse. Then you
Fair
should not be in the
enough.
Hall of
Fair
Fame.
enough. Yeah.
And the players, we can talk about it. Like I
Yep.
mentioned, I think I mentioned I mentioned different players in my video. I mean
Yep.
my paper,
Mhm.
like A-Rod and them. I think I mentioned about Barry Bonds, but that's up for debate as well.
Yeah.
Manny Ramirez was
Oh
obviously one of
yeah. Yep.
them.
Yep.
You say Big Sexy Portola Cologne.
Yeah, he got
Um,
suspended. There's a lot. Yeah,
there's
but
a lot of them.
it's interesting too how this has been kind of going on one way or the other
Mark
for
McGwire
yep
was a huge one.
for 100 years of kind of
Remember,
these scandals.
now this was like during his interview, like done with his interview, right? He turned around, noticed there was in his locker. He basically looked around, like took it out of his locker, like, dude, that was on
Yeah,
YTV. Like
yeah,
you're
yep,
busting
yep,
either way.
yeah. But it'll be interesting.
So
I will say, kind of, this is my final
okay,
point of this slide. I think there's going to be a lot more issues with this
yes,
going
I
forward.
agree.
Like there was that stuff with Shohei Ohtani, and I think there's
Oh
other sports,
yeah, but
basketball.
that was just his interpreter though.
We don't. Well, maybe. I mean, I don't. But that it's sketchy. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
And I think there's going to be more issues with that
and
going forward.
I think that's part of the reason why he's only getting 2 million, that's 70 million each year,
Mhm.
and the message
Just
going
in
to the
case.
bank,
Uh,
which is because I know they did not have enough assets to pay him $7 million a
hmm
year,
hmm
especially with the weird salary cap.
Yeah.
But anyways, my final thoughts on this: of the 8 men that got banned from baseball,
hmm
if I would choose who should be in the Hall of Fame out of those 8 people,
hmm
it's Julio Jackson.
Yeah, I think he's the only one that you can make the case for, who had
And he
enough playing time.
and he's up for debate, but
Yeah.
probably not. Like, I wouldn't know why it took him a whole year. Why didn't he do anything in the offseason 1919 or
hmm
1920? Why did they wait till 1921? Like in the midway through the season, none of them played.
hmm
Not suspicious as well.
They needed to send a carrier pigeon to spread information.
Probably.
Like in Harry Potter. But yeah, so lot going on with it. There's a lot of just interesting
Is that it?
things
Yeah.
of uh who was all involved, were they involved, but let us know in the comments what you think. Who should be in the Hall of Fame?
Who should
Should
not
they be
be?
reinstated?
And how does this compare to the other scandals in like 10 bands in baseball?
Yep.
Like with the
Do, fastball, fastball, curveball, curveball, cutter, cutter. But yes, we're having a great time here at J-Dub 5914.
Yep.
Lock in.
We'll see you next time, deuces.
Peace.
No, yeah.